That's that. You have y equals, you have y equals. You put them together, you equal this one to this one. You move everything to one side so that it's equal to 0. It must equal to 0. You look for ways that you can do this. You can do this in the quadratic formula, or you can do this by factoring. Right here, we factored out an x. So then you have x minus 4 inside. You equal both of them to 0. So then you have two solutions. So that means your graph is going to look something like this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and I'm going to give you another one. Is anybody having trouble with logging in or submitting assignments or something? Because a lot of you are not turning in the assignments. On average, I have about 3 assignments for the class. So now you know that this is y equals 5. This is not in y equals mx plus b. It doesn't have a slope. So then you know that this is a horizontal line. You should already know that because this is algebra 1. But just in case you didn't, this is a Hoy line. I don't know if you remember that from algebra 1. That's a Hoy line because it's y equals to 5. It's a horizontal line. Simple. This is still y. This is still y. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab whatever y is. Remember that y is equals to y. This one is this one. And this one is this one. So I'm just going to equal them to each other. That's all I'm going to do. So it's going to be negative x plus 2 squared plus 5 equals to 5. So then I'm going to move this x plus 2 squared. Remember that this means x plus 2 times x plus 2. And you're going to multiply. You should already know how to do this, right? X squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4. So then this will be x squared plus 4x plus 4. Remember, you have a negative here. So it'll be negative x squared minus 4x minus 4. And then plus 5 equals to 5. Now from here, I don't know if you noticed this, but these pretty much cancel already. And you could have done that from the very beginning. Minus 5, the 5s are going to cancel. This is 0 now because we moved the 5 over. So then I have negative x squared minus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Now, if you think about it, you didn't have to do all that work. I don't know if you noticed that because this is pretty much the same thing as this. You notice that? So I'm going to erase all this. And look at what I'm going to do now. Just so that you can notice these things when you are doing your own work. If I would have done this from the very beginning, I could have just done this. And it's already 0. From there, you divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1, it's still 0. So now I have x plus 2 squared equals to 0. Square root. To get rid of this one, remember it's square root. It's still 0. So then minus 2 minus 2. X is equals to negative 2. And that is your answer. How many solutions do you have here?
1.
This one was a lot easier if you don't focus on this first. That way you just have equal to 0 automatic. When you have equal to 0 automatic, the square root of 0 is 0. Pretty much it was just negative 2 to the other side and that's it. So this one is 1, so therefore your line's gonna do something like this. Remember that it's a Hoy line, so it has to be horizontal. So your line looks like that. It touches one time because it's one number. If it would have been two numbers, then it's two solutions. If it's no numbers, when do we have no solution? When we have those imaginary numbers. Do you remember that? If you have a negative inside the square root, that means you don't have real solutions, you have imaginary. So no solution, if you have an I, that will be no solution. Okay? Yes? Que
Yes.
niños. Gracias por la... Gracias por el... Chivas. Parece que estoy hablando sola aquí. Me siento muy lonely. All right, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to keep going with the examples so that you can have more examples. So you have x squared, y equals x squared minus 2x plus 4. And then you have, wait, no se mira. And then you have y equals x minus 1. Okay? Same thing, remember that y is equals to y. This one is equal to that one. So now I have x squared minus 2x plus 4 equals x minus 1. And then I'm going to move things around. You want to equal it to 0. So minus x plus 1 plus 1. What am I doing? I'm changing this one to negative. I'm changing this one to positive. You're doing the opposite and you're putting it with the one that it belongs to. So then this is over here. These are going to cancel. These are going to cancel. So this is 0. The whole point right now is to equal to 0. Remember that. So then right now I'm going to do, okay, x squared minus 3x plus 5. And then you ask yourself, factors of 5 that give you 3, if there is no such thing, you have to use a quadratic formula. Okay? There's no such thing. 5 times 1 gives you 6, and that's it. So I'm going to use quadratic formula here. Go ahead and give me the quadratic formulas, Francisco. Are you still here? ¿Qué fue?
He said that it doesn't work, that he can't hear you. That's why he got out and he's trying to go back in.
Okay. Gamaliel, give me quadratic formula.
Como la A, la B y la C.
The formula in itself, negative b.
Negativo B más o menos la de este cuadrado es B al cuadrado menos 4AC 2A.
Okay, so remember you have to equal it to 0. It's pretty much the same thing we've been doing, except now you have 2. You have a line and you have a quadratic. We're going to see if it's no solution, 2 solutions, or 1 solution. So that's pretty much what we're doing. We're equaling to 0 and then we're solving. Remember, if it's a negative inside the square root, you automatically put no solution. So then this is going to be negative, actually positive 3 plus or minus square root b squared is 9. Is everybody good or se perdieron? Okay, nadie dijo nada. So a minus 4, a is 1, b is 5. I'm going to put a line here so I don't mess up with that one that I have there. I'm going to work with this first. If I have a negative, automatically, I'm going to say no solution. Negative inside the square root. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 9 minus 20 is negative 11. Automatic I. No solution. Do you understand? You're good? Negative inside means you have imaginary solutions. So there's no real solution. So therefore it's no solution, period. So your line is, your equations are going to be quadratic with a line, but they're never going to touch. This is a quadratic, and the other one was, this one was linear. So make sure that you know how the picture looks like, okay? I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to give you more examples.